Happy Wednesday, everyone. We got a fun little work set for you guys today. It's not going to be very long, but it's definitely going to have its moments for sure. Before we get to our little chipper, what we're going to take down is our warm-up today. Inchworm Down Dog for 3 to 5 reps. Plank to bear squat for 3 to 5 reps as well. From scale to single leg RDL, and I'll explain what that's going to happen and entail momentarily. 3 to 5 per side, and a plank lean for 3 directions to quad plank for 3 to 5. 3 to 5 seconds, 3 reps. Hit that 2 to 3 rounds. It's just going to give you a quick little overview, a little bit of coordination work, play around with some different types of movements there, some hybrids, and then we'll move into some kind of leg build up and cardio warm up area. Dumbbell front squat for 3, right into a dumbbell thruster for 3, and then right into 10 jump squats. So we're going to get rid of those dumbbells, and as soon as they're on the floor, we're going to go right into our jump squats for 10 seconds. Try and keep this little triplet kind of back to back, like a 3-way superset, so that we can keep that fatigue for the legs kind of building as we get into that jump squat. After that, we have a forearm plank to dolphin, just a chance to open up the triceps in the last little bit, challenge the core in a different way, and you're going to move through that 3 to 5 reps for 3 to 5 rounds. Get fired up, ready to go for the workout. The workout we have is a dumbbell thruster for 30 reps into a dumbbell high pull for 9 per side, dumbbell thruster for 20, dumbbell high pull for 6 a side, and then a dumbbell thruster for 10, and then dumbbell high pull for 3 a side. The dumbbell thruster is meant to be on the slightly lighter side, so you should be looking hopefully at taking a good chunk of those thrusters, that first set down, in 1, perhaps maybe 2 sets. If you need to take it down in 3 sets of 10, that's fine, but we should be taking them down in some bigger chunks besides 5s. Okay, so keep that in mind as we start building. If we could do like 3-2-1 sets or 2-1-1 in terms of those thrusters, play with it, have some fun, and experiment with some larger sets for yourselves today. But before we get to that stuff, let's warm up and get you ready for action. All right, you guys, let's warm up a little bit. Let's get those feet under our hips. I'm just going to start by taking those arms big and tall up overhead. Nice little reach overhead with a stretch to one side. Come back through the other side, big reach. Come back up over the hands to the hips. And we'll take those hips around nice and steady. Just waking them up a little bit. Then we'll go the other way, nice and easy. Here we'll come back to the center, bring those feet a little closer, big stretch overhead. We'll take it all the way down to the floor. We're gonna walk up our shins, come back down, frame a foot, step it into your lizard. We're gonna take the inside hand all the way up, rotate to the floor, we'll come back up, rotate to the floor, back up, and one more time, rotate to the floor, back up. Plant your hand, step back into your down dog, reaching those hips, come back into your plank, step the other foot up, nice and square in those hips, inside hand's gonna reach, and rotate, forearm down, big stretch up, and rotate, forearm down, and big stretch up, and rotate, forearm down, and big stretch up, plant the hand, step her back, into that down dog, reach those hips, back into that plank, nice and tight, tiptoe those feet all the way up as we roll ourselves all the way up nice and tall. Big stretch, big reach to one side, big reach to the other side. We'll bring the hands down. Let's get you guys ready for action. If you would like to do some more gentle kind of body weight stuff on your own, pause the video. Please take that down for yourself. I'm going to get you going in this nice little chunk of hybrid movements we got going on today. For our first part of warm-up, it's going to start off with a nice inchworm to down dog. So I'm going to get my feet under my hips. I'm going to start by taking those arms all the way up overhead. I'm going to take it all the way down. I'm going to walk our hands out, establishing that really good plank. And then I'm going to pull my hips back into that down dog. Come back into that good plank, and then walk those hands in, keeping my shoulders and my core super strong and active through the whole process. So A couple things, very straightforward. We're just gonna walk ourselves out, set the shoulders in the plank, find that position as we come into that overhead position through the down dog, working on keeping those lats rolling towards each other as we have the armpit pointing towards the thighs. From there, what we have is our plank to bear squat. So we can walk ourselves out one last time, setting those shoulders in that good plank, but our feet are going to be a little wider, so hip to shoulders. And I'm going to keep that nice upper body active as I sit back into my heels, or as far as I can get back. I want to make sure that my shoulders stay super strong, and I'm only taking it as far back as I can maintain that good strong shoulder angle and position that we are holding and focusing on in our down dog. So if I feel that shoulder start to go somewhere besides where I want to keep it, I just stop my range of motion going back into my bear squat. So I work that ridge, keep it tight, keep it strong through the midsection, and take it as deep as I can, maintain those positions. From there, we're going to stand up nice and tall. We're going to work on what's called a front scale to a side, or a single leg RDL. So what we got going on here is a little different. We're going to work on both feet. So my left foot is going to be the balancing one for my RDL. My right leg is going to be doing the front scale work. So I'm going to point the toe, I'm going to lift that scale, I'm going to come back, toe touches the floor, I squeeze the glutes, I pull back. Now as I stand tall, I'm going to set, come through, lift in my front scale, come back, and squeeze and pull back. So I'm going to do 3 to 5 per side, working on that nice front scale, controlling the foot to the back, and then transitioning into the back position. You'll notice that even though this is a hybrid kind of flow movement, I'm not whipping back and forth. I'm moving with control the entire time. If I'd like to use this loaded for my RDL, what I can do is I can bring a dumbbell into the effect, holding on the same leg that's doing the balancing for the RDL. So my left leg is doing the RDL portion, my right leg is going to do that scale. I come back, I pull back, and then I come back up standing, holding onto the dumbbell on that same side, lift, and continue. So I work on a little bit of engagement there through my upper body, through that suitcase hold, to work on a little bit of off balance work. If you're like, Dave, the balancing is hard enough as it is with the front scale and the single leg RDL, that's all I'm going to take down, then that's fine. Don't worry about adding in the dumbbell, but if you'd like to, that option is there. Just make sure you're holding it on the side of the leg that's doing the RDL. You'll do 3 to 5 per side, and then we're going to move into our plank lean, 3 directions into our quad plank for 3 to 5 second hold. So I'm going to show you what's going to be playing around in here. 2 variations of how you can take this down. So first things first, we get ourselves into a good plank. I pull my ribs and hips together, press through the shoulders, staying over my hands. I'm going to lean to the left, and then I come through and I lean to the right, come back to center and pull forward. And then I'm going to pull back into my plank, and I'm going to pull myself into my quad plank. So I'm holding this position nice and solid, nice and tight. From here, I'm going to extend back into my plank, shift, shift, and pull forward. I'm going to pull my feet in a little bit with that quad plank and get myself squared away. So I'm just going to work on a little stepping action, working on that plank. The whole time I'm doing that, I'm really focused on pressing through my shoulders and keeping that upper back engaged so I can move my feet in and out of my plank and my quad plank. If you'd like to add in one more movement, I'll show you what we can play with as well, which is a down dog. So what you can play with is starting in the plank, tight and press. I work through my 3 leans, pulling forward, keeping those ribs tight. I pull back into my down dog, and then I come into my quad plank. So I can play around with that sequence if I'd like, using the down dog as a transitionary piece to move from my plank to my quad plank and my quad plank you like to play around with that, you're more than welcome to. Experiment with that, transition, see which one works best for you. I just really want you guys to just experiment with some different types of transitions and some flows. So enjoy that, but all the while, focus on those shoulders. That is key to maintaining that good, strong structure. Quick recap, we have our Inchworm Down Dog for 3 to 5, Plank to Bear Squat for 3 to 5, Front Scale to Single Leg RDL for 3 to 5 aside, Plank Lean, 3 directions to Quad Plank for 3 to 5 second hold, and then you'll do that 3 times. You'll do all of that 2 to 3 rounds to get yourself squared away, fired up, and ready for action. Pause the video, take it through that work set, lots of coordination work, lots of strength work in the core and the shoulders, so take it down, have some fun with it, don't rush, and then come join me for our dumbbell work. So our dumbbell work is going to consist of some front squats and some thrusters right into some other squats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean those dumbbells up into my rack position. So again, with the rack position, my dumbbells are resting on my shoulders, my elbows are kind of up and out slightly, pressing into the dumbbells a bit to keep them solid and active. I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see my squat action. My stance is just outside my hips and shoulders, so somewhere in that range for your regular squat stance. I'm going to take my hips towards my heels, knees are going slightly out so they track the toes, and I'm pressing into the dumbbells, which will also help keep my torso upright. So I'm keeping a little bit of engagement here. So I'm going to take down 3 good front squats. Nice and smooth, working on that position and working on the bottom of my squat. Then I'm going to go into 3 thrusters, which is a smooth squat, stand and press. So the only thing different is we get a little press in there. So I'm pressing those dumbbells into that good overhead position. I'm going to bring them back to my shoulder, absorb them into the front squat, stand press. So again, I'm keeping my ribs in, my glutes tight, my biceps are just behind my ears or equal with my ears, shooting for that overhead position. One more time, I'll come down, I work that good thruster, and I come down, and I move in to my jump squat. So my jump squat, I have 3 different variations. I have my air squat, with maybe an aggressive stand-up. I also have my non-jumping jump squat, where that might pull my heels up off the ground, but then pull them back down very quickly. And or I have my jump squat, where I leave the ground. So very similar, and I pull and go into that position. The key foundational movement of all those jump squat options is the air squat. So really focusing on that good stance, toes slightly out, the knees tracking the toes, the hips going towards the heels, everything staying nice and upright. So really focus on those key fundamentals in that front squat, in that thruster, as we move into the more dynamic with the jump squat. So you're going to try and keep those 3 as close to each other as we can, building that fatigue and that kind of cardio response, and then we're going to take it down a notch and work on our forearm plank to dolphin. So our forearm plank to dolphin is kind of a fun little movement. It's challenging, it's hard to do because it's going to stretch out those triceps and those lats and put a little bit different style of pressure on the core than a plank to down dog would. So I'm going to get set up in my forearm plank first. So my elbows under my shoulder, I'm pressing into my forearms into the floor. I step back into my plank, so I get that nice established. Now I'm going to have to step my feet in a little bit, and that's okay. I'm going to pull back with my hips, step my feet in so I can get a good position, and I soften my knees just a bit with my ankles. And my armpits are pointing down towards the toes, just like they would if I was doing my down dog, except my forearms are my base of support. So I'm pressing my armpits back towards my toes, and then I come back into my plank. There's no allotted hold time per position, but what I would do is just hold for about 3 to 5 seconds per position so you can really get a good feel for each point, so you can really feel those triceps and lats stay high and get into that good position for the dolphin. So experiment with that, working on that. It's okay if you need to walk your feet in and out from your plank to your dolphin position. It's pretty natural. We have to bring our feet in a little bit in there. So please take that upon yourself to do and have fun with that one, you guys. It's a challenging movement for the core and for the shoulder. So take your time for setup. That will make you very successful. Quick little recap for you guys. We have our dumbbell front squat for 3, our dumbbell thruster for 3, jump squat for 10 seconds, Then we're gonna finish off with some forearm plank to Dolphin, just to kind of get that nice flow going for 3 to 5 reps. 3 to 5 rounds of that, take it down, have fun, get yourself heated up. It's gonna heat you up pretty quick through the legs and the upper body, and then we're gonna move into the work set. So pause the video, take it down, and then come join me. We'll talk about what's to happen in the workout. So the workout today for you guys is 30 thrusters, 9 high pulls per side, 20 thrusters, 6 high pulls per side, 10 thrusters, and 3 high pulls per side. So if you have 2 separate sets of dumbbells, grab them. The heavier set will be for the thruster, the lighter set will be for the high pull. Or if you have one, you'll use 1 set, you'll use 2 for your thruster, and you'll use 1 for your high pull. So we've already gone through the thruster at length in our warm-up, so if you need some recap on those positions, jump back in the video and watch that dumbbell thruster explanation there. But we're going to talk about the high pull. So the high pull today, we have 2 variations. One is a strict high pull, the other has a little bit of hip action. And I want you to use the hip one if you only have access to heavier dumbbells at home that you cannot do a strict high pull with. So I'm going to stand with my feet just outside my hips, my glutes tight, my core tight, and I'm standing nice and upright. My palm will be facing back towards my thigh, and what I'm going to do is pull my elbow high and outside to get the dumbbell up to my sternum, and then I'll come back down. And I'm going to control that motion all the way up and down, giving myself a little pause at both ends of the movement, keeping my body as still as I can and tight as I can. And then I'll flip side and do 9 as well. Now, if your dumbbell options are limited and you have heavy dumbbells that you can't do that strict without contorting your body or having some negative sensation in the elbow, what we can do is take it to launch, and then we're going to pull with a little bit of hip momentum, kind of like a launch clean pull. There we go. We take it to the hip, we get that push and drive, and that dumbbell comes straight up the front of the body, and it doesn't venture away. So again, from the side, I pull back, I drive, I keep the dumbbell close, I drive, and come close. For the strict variation from the side, I pull high outside, keeping my neck, and I keep that dumbbell just to the chest or sternum, and I work on that position, nice and steady. So a couple different options there, depending on what you have access to in the work set and at home. So have fun with this one, you guys. This is a tough little work set. It's going to get the heart rate up. Try for those bigger sets with the thruster if you can, and work for quality for sure on those high pulls, because we want to isolate that arm and get that really good vertical pull. Quick recap again on the workout. Dumbbell thruster for 30, dumbbell high pull for 9 per side, dumbbell thruster for 20, dumbbell high pull for 6 per side, dumbbell thruster for 10, dumbbell high pull for 3 a side, done. All right. Have fun with this one, you guys. Enjoy your Wednesday. Work for quality. Work for that good, hearty thruster. It's going to be a good day for you guys. I'm excited. And we'll see you tomorrow for some more fun. Bye, you guys.